Okay guys, I'm sure a lot of us didn't see that coming, and what I'm going to do in today's video, we're going to go through a bunch today. Okay, so you can sit with me, you can leave me a comment to let me know how you're feeling about the current dump. I'm going to give you my outlook, some theories, some not. We're going to look at technical price targets, key levels that we've just gone down to for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for the others chart, right? The others Bitcoin chart. We're going to try and find out what the hell has been going on, because none of us could have foreseen this. Now, the market always likes to find a way to explain moves. And personally, I think, and I'm sure a lot of you guys will agree with me on this one, there's a lot of shady business going on behind the scenes, right? So Trump threatens to impose additional 100% tariffs on China. And then what happened after that, guys? We absolutely nuked. Okay, a lot of altcoins went down. You know, they've bounced since the bottoms, but they were down like 40-50%. I actually went to sleep, and then 2 hours later I woke up and I saw my portfolio was like wrecked on the day. I couldn't believe it, right? And at the time of this post, it was a lot more now, but the crypto liquidations was at around 1 billion. I think it went to like 5 billion of crypto liquidations right after that. Now, I say there's some shady business going on. I mean, this is kind of one thing that I've been seeing. Some wallets shorted millions right before the tariff announcement. I saw one earlier today where they closed their short and they made like 200 million in the space of an hour, which is absolutely insane. But on the flip side, a lot of people who are in longs have just been completely liquidated. And you go to the liquidation heat map, I mean, you know, Bitcoin longs absolutely wrecked. All the liquidity down here got taken. But if you were in altcoins, you know, even if you were doing a 2x leverage, some altcoins dip like over 50%. You're wiped out. And unfortunately, I saw a lot of people post online to say that their stop losses didn't get triggered and that they've been forced to hold down to lower prices than what they would have liked to. Now, another thing I don't like to see is things like this. I mean, now it's happening to Binance. Before it was Coinbase. Unfortunately, Binance is doing some weird stuff this cycle, but due to heavy market activity, their systems are under high load. They're basically saying that, you know, if you wanted to buy, say, I don't know, let's see what happened. If you wanted to buy ETH at 3.4k, you probably wouldn't have got it. If you wanted to buy XRP all the way down at $1.50, you probably wouldn't have got it. You know, I saw even things like ADA down. Where's ADA? ADA went down to like 30, was it? Yeah, 30 cents. People couldn't get their buys in. Solana, same story, guys. So if any of you guys were able to get like these wick lows, let me know. But at the same time, it's not to say that the wicks aren't going to get filled, right? We're going to have a look at the wicks on TradingView in a second. Now, people are saying that you could buy ETH at 4.30 and sell 10 minutes later for 3.8k. I don't think any of these orders would have got filled. This is the 3-minute chart, guys, so I doubt anybody had orders all the way down here. Shady business going on, and you know, the crypto liquidation soared to nearly 10 billion in 24 hours, the largest single day event ever. Bigger than Luna, bigger than COVID, bigger than FTX. Okay, extreme fear in the market right now. But if we actually think about it, guys, I mean, it's obvious that this is manipulation. I mean, it's not going to be people like you or me. It's not going to be people that have, you know, multiple millions in their account selling here. They're not going to be selling here. And even if they did, the move would not have forced, you know, billions, nearly tens of billions of liquidations like that. But what people will do now is they will sell into this wick. Probably retail, who are panicking at this point, they're going to be the ones that sell, right? The market makers will manipulate this move here, right, of 15%, even worse for our altcoins. And then all of the panic retail people who, you know, top blasted, say Bitcoin, or have even just been DCing in it, as what I've seen to be decent prices for altcoins, right? People that have been buying over the past couple of months or so, you know, they're down now, and they're probably going to be selling into this wick if it continues to fill, guys. Now Bitcoin wicked all the way down to around 100k. Currently still on the wick, technically a higher low. So we need to see how this is going to result. Is this going to result as a close below this yellow line here at the bottom, or is this wick going to hold? Okay, I don't know right now. Nobody knows. We're going to have to see how the weekend goes. But when it does come to things like Ethereum, again, Ethereum back down to a double bottom. This was actually, I've seen a lot of people posting the support line that we've been in since the bottom at around 1.3k. You know, we're now actually printing a candle below this support line. First time since we did bottom in April. Okay, so we would like to see the weekly, or daily and weekly, close back inside this range. So really we've got 2 days to play with to see if we do close out the range. And if we do close out the range, then we either need an immediate pump up into next week, or unfortunately it looks like we could go lower for Ethereum. But again, we can't presume what's going to happen yet because we don't know how these wicks are going to resolve. One thing that I wanted to look at as well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys follow Benjamin Cowen into the cryptoverse. One thing he was calling for before we got an alt season was us to revert back to these wick lows, back to these range lows here, right? So we can circle them up, right? We saw a range low here, we saw range low here, we saw range low here, and every single time we've been in these range lows, we've seen pretty big reversals after it, right? So if we go to the first wick low around 2018, we can say from the wick all the way to the top, we then saw a 300%, 400% rally. Again, from 2019 to that previous high, we saw a 200% rally. The next one in 2021 or 2020, 2021, we saw a 500% rally. Okay, now we're back at that range low. So again, this wick could continue down if altcoins want to bleed more, but we've gone back to the range low. So that's something to bear in mind. I watch Benjamin Cowen quite a lot. He's been pretty on point, and he was saying that this is one of the last things that we needed for the alt Bitcoin pairs. Okay, so that's others, BTC. Total 3 went all the way down and wicked perfectly off this trendline support. Okay, we marked this trendline support, I believe, in the last live stream, and the breakdown target for this rising wedge was around here, I believe, right? It was around 800 or 900 billion, and we've bounced back off it. We're closing above it again, guys. So again, it's, you know, still the first weekly candle. We need to see if we continue the rollover or not. And when you check out the others chart as well, I mean, if you look at the others chart, still holding this higher support, guys. Okay, so right now I think we need to let the dust settle. You know, there's no point jumping to conclusions. I do think there's a possibility that altcoins continue a rollover over the coming days, right? They could try and fill their wicks. I mean, you saw things like ICP got all the way down to $1.16, which is insane to me. Things like AVAX went down to around $8 again. You know, even Ondo going down all the way here on the wick to 25 cents. I know, you know, no one could have foreseen this happening, guys. So if you're not buying, and again, I'm sure a lot of you guys won't be buying. Personally, you know, I'm just waiting to let the dust settle. Even if these are going to be like generational buys, I'm just waiting to see what happens right now, guys. We need to see what happens with Bitcoin. If this results to a wick and then, you know, we continue up in the coming weeks, that would be great. We need to see how the tariff dramas are going to unfold. Sometimes the best things you can do is nothing. I know everyone's going to want an answer as to what's going to happen next, but at the same time, nobody knew that this was going to be the thing that happened today, guys, apart from what could be the insiders who have been manipulating the market, guys. So we'll be back tomorrow with another update. You guys let me know how you're feeling. I'm sure a lot of you guys, you know, are feeling the same way as I was when I looked at my portfolio after my nap. But yeah, best thing to do right now is not panic. Don't act irrationally, and we'll keep a close eye on the market over the weekend. So I'll probably go live tomorrow morning, see what is going on with you guys. You can let me know. So to make sure you don't miss that, make sure you've got your post notifications on, like the video, subscribe, and I'm going to see you in the morning. Peace.